here can see what we're talking about. All right, Gabriella, what is your question?
Go get my chapstick.
What was that?
My chapstick. I need it.
Okay, go ahead. Go grab it. All right, guys, so I'm going to change or move on from the schedule. And okay, I just wanted to do a reminder. Make sure before we meet that you've tried to finish your DLA and check it with the video. And if you can get to the phonics lesson in MobyMax, today it's pretty quick. We're working on the many sounds of Y, because the letter Y, when it is at the end of a word, well, actually, you know, it's interesting because when we are in kindergarten and we learn all of our sounds, we learn that the letter Y says y, y. But did you know it only says y if it comes at the beginning of a word? So it actually makes more sounds if it comes at the end. And so the lesson on MobyMax today will talk to you about how to decide when you come to a word that you're reading and you don't know what sound that Y is making. It'll help you learn those sounds. Willie, did you have a question for me? Oh, you're still on mute. There we go.
Do I take the red and blue folders or the pink one?
Actually, I was just going to suggest that. Today, we're going to go ahead and trade both the red and blue. So keep the pink one. We're going to trade out red and blue. So you bring me red and blue, and I will give you a red and blue back. Okay, which reminds me, today we're starting, no, tomorrow we're starting our folder exchange. So I'm going to collect the work that you've done since we've been back from Christmas break. And then we're going to, Miss Hadamio and I are going to give you some new stuff. So good question. Thank you, Willie. Gabriella, what is your question?
I keep getting the math group's messages. It's distracting.
Oh, I know how
So I
to.
laugh.
Okay, you know, yes, I do too. We need to, when you're in a meeting, you have to silence. What was that?
I could mute it though, so I don't get the messages.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. You're going to have to mute that chat. I get them too.
That's what my mom does.
Okay. All right, and then after you do your phonics lesson, language arts assignment. Okay, now you guys might think this is a little strange. So today your language arts assignment is going to be on verbs, which are action words. You're going to work on pages 160 and 161, but I'm not going to have you do all the problems on page 160 and 161. So page 160, you're only going to do 5 problems. I think there's 10 on that page, but I'm only going to have you do 5. And then on page 161, there are 10 sentences, but I'm only going to have you do 5. So a total of 10 problems instead of 20. That way, because I'm adding your phonics lesson, I want to give you some time to work on that. And then today I'll tell you what your reading assignment will be. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to do for reading this week. Our learning target says today we will plan the beginning of an opinion essay. So that means we're going to write, and it's going to be easy and it's going to be fun. So we're going to plan what we're going to write about, and I'll tell you what opinion means in a minute. And it's going to include your opinion and reasons why you feel that way. So reasons to support your opinion. So what does opinion mean? An opinion is the way that you think or the way that you feel about something. So not everybody is going to feel the same way. And then when you're stating your opinion, it's always important to give reasons why you feel that way. And so I'm going to show you how to write an opinion essay. So sometimes you may need to convince somebody that you believe strongly in something, and you need to do it in an organized way. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so I want to show you, this is where you're going to need your whiteboard. I'm going to give you 2 examples. One is going to be a fact, which is true, something that we can't argue with, that it is what it is. And then the other is going to be an opinion. So I'm going to have you, okay, well, I'll show you this first one. The first one says each season, so that's like fall, winter, spring, summer. Each season is 3 months long, or winter is the best season. So out of those two, you're going to put either a 1 or a 2 for an opinion. Pick the opinion where you think somebody, or that not everybody would agree on the same idea. So that would be the opinion. So if you think the first one that says each season is 3 months long, you would put a number 1 on your whiteboard. If you said winter is the best season and you think that would be the opinion, you'll put a number 2 on your whiteboard. And then I'm going to have you hold them up to your cameras. So which one do you think is the opinion? 1 or 2? All righty, hold them up. All righty, if you have them up, you can put them down. Let's check Zach's. Okay, I saw everybody's. If you said number 2, you are right. That is the opinion. Not everybody agrees that winter is the best season. But the first one, we can't argue with that. Each season is 3 months long. Okay, so if you got that right, go ahead and put a little tally mark on the top of your whiteboard. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, number 1 is the best time of the year is when the days are shorter. That means there's not as much sunlight. So that's the best time of the year. Or days have less sunlight in the fall. So which one is the opinion? The first one or the second one? An opinion. Okay, and then hold it up to your camera. All righty, if you said number 1, you were right. That is the opinion. Not everybody agrees that the time of year when the days are shorter is the best time. So that is an opinion. But the days in the fall do have less sunlight. We have less hours of sunlight. So that one is a fact. Okay, if you got that right, put another tally mark. Okay, here's another one. Number 1 is bats have long wings and they fly at night. Or is it bats are very interesting mammals? What do you think the opinion is? The first one or the second one? And then hold it up to your camera. The opinion is the one, or the fact would be the one nobody can argue with. That is what it is. But the opinion may not be something everybody agrees on. All righty. Okay, so if you said, thank you. If you said the opinion is number 2, you are right, because not everybody would agree that bats are interesting. Okay, let's look at this one. Number 1 says, drinking milk from a cow does not taste good. Or would it be milk comes from cows? Which is the opinion? Drinking milk from a cow does not taste good. Or milk comes from cows. All righty, if you have it up, you can put it down because I can see it. And okay, if you said number 1 is the opinion, give yourself a tally mark, because not everybody agrees. Maybe somebody thinks that drinking milk right from the cow is the best milk they've ever tasted. So, and we can't argue with milk comes from cows. It does. It comes from other places, other animals, like goats. Some people drink goat's milk, but milk does come from cows. Okay, I think this is no, you have 2 more. Okay, number 1, exercise is good for the heart, or exercising is the best way to spend your free time. Which is the opinion? Okay, hold it up. All righty, if you said number 2 is the opinion, you are right. Now, I think everybody would agree that exercise is good for the heart, but not everybody likes to exercise, so they would not necessarily agree. Okay, so that's another tally mark. Okay, here's the last one. What do you guys think is the opinion? The first one says, all kids should go to bed at the same time, or getting enough sleep is important for the body. Which is the opinion? All right, if you have it up, I can see it, so you can put it down. And there's the rest. Okay, if you guys said number 1 is the opinion, that's right. So actually, this question I got from one of the Scholastic News articles. Actually, I think it was in the one we just had. Let me make sure this is it. It is. It's on the one with the beluga whales. The last article says, should bedtime be later? And so I got this idea from that article. Okay, so now that we have an idea of what, and oh, by the way, if you were able, actually, I think everybody got all of those right. So you should, I don't remember how many I had, 5 or so tally marks. So give yourself a little pat on the back for doing good with deciding which is a fact and which is an opinion. That was awesome. Good job, guys. Okay, so now when we look at what an opinion essay is going to look like, we're going to use our hamburger writing to organize, or our hamburger format to organize our writing. And there's still 3 main parts. We're going to have an introduction, which is the bun at the top. The body has all of the good information, and then we're going to have a conclusion. So a sentence or 2 to wrap it up. So in the introduction, it's going to tell the reader what we're writing about, and you tell the reader your opinion. The body is going to have the good stuff. We're going to have 3 paragraphs. So we're going to be writing a lot, but we'll do it together, and we're going to spread it out over the week. And each paragraph will has a reason for your opinion and an explanation that supports your opinion. And then the last sentence, or the last paragraph, you restate your opinion and you do something called a call for action. So I'll tell you what that means when we get to the conclusion. So here is an example of an opinion essay. I'm going to read this to you. And this opinion essay, it was written by a 3rd grader, and it has all of the parts I just talked about. So it's about why everyone should recycle. So we know this is going to be about recycling. So listen carefully and look at your screen so that you can see the different parts. So this first paragraph is the introduction, and it states the opinion of the writer. It says, people in our country are throwing away too many things. So there's our introduction. We know we're going to talk about throwing away stuff. And now the opinion. It is very important for everyone to begin recycling right away. Okay, do you see how this person put their opinion? So we're going to work on that today with a different story. Now the rest of the article are the body paragraphs. So the middle of the hamburger, and they have their reasons why people should recycle. And they also have examples from the text on why people should recycle. And then and those are the 3 paragraphs. And then at the end, we have a conclusion paragraph where she restates her opinion. And she says, these are the reasons why I believe that everyone, and not just some people, should recycle. It is important because it will keep people and our planet healthy. So I'm not going to go into those yet until we start writing about those. What we're going to focus on today is that first paragraph. We're going to make an opinion, and then we're going to plan our reasons. So let me skip that one. Okay, in your folder exchange today, or tomorrow, I'm going to give you copies of this graphic organizer. So when you get it tomorrow, you'll have something to organize your thoughts. But today we're just going to write on a piece of paper, and this will help you really organize your writing. Okay. So here's what you're going to do today. I'm going to read this story to you, and this story I also put in Schoology. So if you need to go back and look at it, it's in Schoology. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read this story to you. This story is about two people traveling west. Their names are Michael and Rachel. While I read, I want you to think about, did Michael and Rachel prepare enough for this trip? And then at the end, I'm going to ask you, what do you think? Were they prepared? And if you say yes, they were prepared, you have to give me 2 reasons from the text why you think they were prepared. If you don't think they were prepared, 2 reasons why. Okay, so listen carefully. This is a cute little story that goes with our reading we've been doing for social studies. Okay, oh, Zach, do you have a question?
On Schoology, is there the link? Can we click that?
Yeah, you can click that. It's in the reading folder in Schoology for today. Okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm going to read. It says, The Great Journey West. Michael and Rachel Robinson were packing everything they owned into a covered wagon. They had decided to move to the west. They hoped to find some land and start their very own farm. They imagined it would be a very exciting and beautiful trip. Michael and Rachel packed so many things that the wagon looked ready to break. Neighbors came out and warned them to be careful. This trip may not be all fun and games, said one neighbor to Michael. Michael did not listen. He just smiled cheerfully and said, Everything will be fine. On April 5th, 1848, Michael tied the wagon to an ox and the strong animal began pulling it. Michael and Rachel began their great journey west. They traveled all day along a bumpy dirt trail to a meeting place in Missouri. They were surprised to see many other people with wagons hoping to move to the west. It was going to be a long, slow trip with so many other wagons on the trail. Shortly after they started, Michael saw the wagon wheels coming loose. The wagon was too heavy. They had to leave behind their heavy table and chairs. Then they had to get rid of their chest as well. That way there would be room to sleep inside the wagon when they got tired from walking. Uh-oh, did I lose some of the text? Because it says hungry. Why does it say hungry? Uh-oh, I think I lost some of the text, but I think it said something about them being hungry. So now Rachel and Michael were hungry. Of all the things they had packed, they had not brought enough food. They had to trade some fancy silver plates for a bag of rice to eat. The trip was becoming much more difficult than they had expected. After weeks of travel, Michael began to feel ill. So he's feeling sick. Rachel took care of him, but they had to sell their nicest things to buy him medicine. Michael and Rachel then took the wrong path and got lost. That made their trip even longer. Just when they were almost too tired to continue, they finished their journey. They had made it to the west. Along the way, they had to leave behind almost everything they owned. But they knew the important thing was that they had made it and they still had each other. Okay, now that you listened to that story, on the paper that you have in front of you, I want you to write down the answer. Let's see, did I put it on here? The answer to the question here in purple. Do you think Michael and Rachel are properly prepared for their trip west? Why or why not? So start out your sentence that says, you can use the words I think or in my opinion. Michael and Rachel were properly prepared or were not properly prepared for the trip. So write that in a complete sentence on your paper. So you're stating your opinion. Michael and Rachel were or were not properly prepared for their trip west. And this is going to be your reading assignment. So we're doing it together today. So you won't have to do it again later. Okay, so your sentence should say something like, I think, or in my opinion, Michael and Rachel were or were not properly prepared for their trip west. So that's just stating your opinion. And then if you're finished with your opinion, you're going to give me 2 reasons from the text why you felt that way. So Willie, did you have a question for me?
Does it have to be this sentence? It has to be that exact sentence?
No. Do you have something different that you want to
Yeah.
share? Okay.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, and then my answer, they were not prepared.
Okay, for what? Prepared for what?
The trip.
Yeah, the trip west. Put that in there just so we know what they're not prepared for in
I
your
know.
opinion.
I know I wasn't done writing it. I was just asking for a finish.
Okay, yep, that'll work. Hi, Gabriella. Can you hear me in your headphones? Okay, we're doing a test check there. Okay, Olivia, did you write down your sentence? Gabriella, did you write yours down?
No, I'm almost done.
Okay.
Miss Badger,
Yes?
can I tell what I wrote?
You sure can, Zach. Go ahead.
I think no, because Michael did not listen and they got lost.
Okay, so let's start your sentence. Let's add a little bit more information to that first sentence because we want to just, the first sentence, we're just stating our opinion. So since you don't think that they are prepared, can you write that Michael and Rachel were not prepared for their trip? And then that's the first sentence. And then I like that you started your opinion or your reasons, which is going to be the why or the why not part of it. So who else would like to share their opinion sentence? Who's finished? Riley, are you done? No? Okay, still writing? All right, Angelique, you want to read your sentence?
I think Michael and Rachel were not properly prepared for their trip.
Nice job. That is just your opinion sentence. Okay, so if you have something very similar to Angelique, she did an excellent job just stating her opinion. And so this is kind of what's a little, this is a little bit different than when we're answering a question because it does say why or why not. But in an opinion essay, we want to have a strong sentence saying exactly what we think. So now that Angelique has written that Michael and Rachel were not properly prepared, we need to come up with 2 reasons why. Olivia, do you want to read your sentence?
Yes. I put
Okay.
Rachel and Rachel are not prepared for their trip.
Okay, so you stated your opinion very clearly. Michael and Rachel were not prepared for their trip. Okay, Gabriella, you want to read yours?
So I put, in my opinion, Michael and Rachel were not properly prepared for their trip because they had to give away a lot of their stuff and they did not listen to their neighbors.
Okay, and you know what, Gabriella? You gave me your 2 reasons, and I appreciate that because normally that is exactly what we would ask you to do if we were answering a question. They were not prepared because. However, we're going to change this up a little bit because we're going to make those reasons very clear. So can you do me a favor and put a period after you said Michael and Rachel were not prepared for their trip? So before you said the word because. We're just going to make one sentence with our opinion.
Okay,
Because
so
the next part,
after
we're
the trip,
going
I
to,
put period.
yeah, put a period. And then the next sentence, you're going to start out with, one reason I feel this way is. So actually, I am going to write that on a slide here. So,
Erase my because.
yes.
Okay.
I'm going to put a new slide here, and this is what you guys are going to write. One reason I feel this way is, and then that is where you are going to give your reason from the text. So this is going to be the sentence starter for your reason sentence, your reason sentence. So pick that, and then I want you to do 2. So then after, here, let me write this real quick. Actually, I'll leave that for you now. I'll let you do a reason first. One reason I feel this way is, Riley, you have a question for me?
So
Or
we have to erase our sentence starter and put that.
Okay, read your opinion sentence first. What did you write first?
In my opinion, Michael and Rachel were not prepared for their trip.
Perfect. And you have a period, right? That's the end of your sentence. Okay, so your next sentence is going to start this way. One reason I feel this way is. So what happened in the story that made you feel like, they were definitely not prepared? So give me a reason from the story that you can remember.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that question, Riley. Olivia, you want to give me a reason? Why do you think that they were not prepared? What's your reason? Or what were you thinking?
I was thinking to put one reason I feel this way is because
Do you remember a reason why they weren't prepared?
maybe I could put one reason I feel
Whoops. I can still hear you, sweetie.
this way is Rachel and Rachel are not prepared for their trip.
But why do you think they're not prepared? What did they do in the story that made you think they're not prepared? What are their actions? Do you remember? Okay, so hold your thought for a second. Just make sure you write down this sentence starter, and then I'll go back to the story so that we can look back and see what some of the reasons are. Okay? Gabriella, did you finish your sentence? Okay, so Olivia, listen to Gabriella. She's going to read one of her reason sentences.
In my opinion, Michael and Rachel were not prepared properly for their trip, period. One reason I feel this way is they had to give away a lot of their stuff Another reason
Okay,
I
stop
feel
right there.
this way is
One reason I feel this way is they had to give away a lot of their stuff. Okay, so you're right. And before you move on to that next sentence, this is what I was going to type earlier. You're going to start exactly what you did. Another reason I feel this way, this way is, and then you write your second reason. Thank you. Okay, so Gabriella, did you have your second reason?
yeah.
Okay, start that sentence.
Another reason I feel this way is they did not listen to their neighbors.
What did their neighbors tell them? Can you be a little more clear on that?
Their neighbors told them that that you're bringing way too much stuff.
Okay, so can you
A
put that
lot.
in your sentence? They didn't listen to their neighbors when their neighbors said, you're bringing too many things. All right, Angelique, did you have a reason sentence that you want to share?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read it.
One reason I feel this way is because they packed too much stuff.
Okay, how do we know they packed too much stuff? How do you know that? What did it say in the text?
The neighbor told them that they packed way too much stuff in the story.
Okay, so you could say, one reason I feel this way is, just like what Gabriella had said, the neighbors told them that they packed too many things. What happened along the way when they packed too many things?
They had to take out most of their stuff.
That's right, and leave it behind on the trail. That's exactly right. All right, thank you, Angelique. Willie, do you have a second reason why you thought they were not prepared?
I'm done writing it.
I'm writing it right now. I got it right now, but do you wanna see my first one?
Yeah, actually your first one too.
Okay. In my opinion, no, they are not prepared for the trip. One reason I feel this way is they had no supply, just furniture.
Okay.
And my second one, I'm trying to think.
Okay, and maybe I can go back to the text in a second. I'm going to have Zach share, and then maybe he can share an idea with us, and then we'll go back and look at the story. Zach, do you want to read your reasons?
One reason I feel this way is they got lost. Another reason I feel this way is the wagon wheel was loose.
Okay, so what happened because the wagon wheel was loose? What did they have to do? Do you remember? Here, I'll go back to the story, actually. Let's see. All right. So let's look back at that part. It said, was it down here? Let's see. Where was the wagon wheel? I
think it was somewhere there.
Was it? Oops. Let's see. Paragraph.
It's on paragraph 5.
5. Shortly after they started, Michael saw the wagon wheels coming loose. The wagon was too heavy. So why did the wagon wheel come loose, Zach?
The wagon was too heavy.
Okay, so maybe we can add that into your sentence. So they brought too many things, making the wagon heavy, which made the wagon wheel loose. So you can put it into your own words however you want. Okay, so, all right, Willie, did you come up with your second one?
Yes. I wrote another reason I feel this way is they had no food.
They had no food. They didn't properly plan for food. So what did they have to do to get food?
They had to sell everything. They had to sell the silver plates.
That's right. Up here in this paragraph, it says that they had to trade some fancy silver plates for a bag of rice to eat. Thank you, Willie. All right, Mr. Riley, you want to share your thoughts?
Yes. I put another reason I feel this way is because the wagon was breaking because it was too heavy from the stuff they packed.
Okay, and I like that you told me why the wagon was breaking. It was too heavy because they had too many things in it. All right, good job. Okay, so right now on your piece of paper, you should have your opinion sentence. So actually, I'm going to go back to my graphic organizer. So you have so if you were writing on this graphic organizer, I know you don't have it right now, but you would have this: state your opinion clearly in a single complete sentence. So in my opinion, Rachel and Michael were not properly prepared for the trip. That is your opinion. And what you guys just gave me was this first reason and this first reason. They were not, one reason I feel this way is because the wagon wheel was breaking because they brought too many things with them. Another reason I feel this way is they did not properly plan for enough food and ended up having to sell some of their things. So you guys have completed 3 parts of this. You stated your opinion and you gave me 2 reasons. Now notice that under those reasons there are examples, and we're going to actually work on those examples and what that means on Thursday. So you've got a good start to your paragraph. So on Thursday we're going to put in some examples, and then we're going to write a conclusion sentence. And then we're going to come up here and fix or work on that purpose opinion writing. So if you already have your opinion sentence, which you guys all do, and 2 reasons why you feel this way, then you are done with your reading assignment for today. So we did this together, and what I want you to do is keep it in your red reading folder because we're going to continue on with this on Thursday. So I also wanted to let you guys know that text features list with the title, the headings, the bold print, all of that from last week, keep that in your red folder because we're going to add to that list as we start seeing other text features in the stories that we read. So let's review what you needed to do today. So DLA, notice I said days 2 and 3 because we didn't have school yesterday. So make sure you do days 2 and 3 and check your answers. And your language arts assignment, like I mentioned earlier, whoops, how come it's not in there? Hey, I put it in there. Okay, well, language arts today, you're working, I think it was on page 160 and 161. And remember that I said you only are doing 5 problems on 160 and 5 problems on 161. So make sure that you notice that when you are in your assignment. Phonics is going to be your Moby Max with the many sounds of Y. And then your reading you already did. You're supposed to read the story, write your opinion, and 2 reasons, which you did. So you guys, other than DLA, language arts, and phonics, are pretty much done with your reading for today. So let's work on an exit ticket. Okay, I'm going to put a statement up here, and you need to tell me what you think your opinion of this is. Now, you got to really think deep here. We can change the world. I want you to think, can we change the world? And then I want you to give me in the chat, tell me your opinion and one reason you feel that way. One reason you feel that way. Can we change the world? And why do you think that? So think about it for a second and then type it in the chat. While you're thinking, if you have any other questions, I can answer them now. So any questions on anything? Just as a reminder, you guys are going to meet with me again on Friday morning. Normally we don't meet on Friday. Some of you are going to meet at 10 with me, and some of you are going to meet at 10:45. So just keep that in mind. And I sent your parents a list, and I also put it in Schoology by the video chat button. All right, Gabriella, question.
I want to show you it.
Okay.
I got the internet thing.
Oh, is that what it looks like? I didn't even know. That's the hotspot. All right.
Yeah, for school. It's from school.
So are you on the hotspot right now? Perfect.
It's working good.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see what you guys say. In the chat, I want you to tell me, can we change the world? What do you think? And why? Why do you feel that way? So let's see, Olivia wrote down. Oh, so Olivia, that what you wrote on that whiteboard with Michael and Rachel, can you copy it onto a piece of paper so it doesn't get lost? Because once you erase that whiteboard, it's going to be gone. Because I want you to keep that paper in your red folder. Okay, so Olivia says she feels that no, we cannot change the world because God changes the world. Okay, so she stated her opinion, how she felt, and she gave me a reason. All right, Olivia, thank you. Zach says yes. Yes, what, Zach? Can you state your opinion a little more clearly? Yes, what? Go ahead and tell me. You don't have to rewrite it.
Yes, because.
Yes, what?
Yes. Yes. By not littering?
Well, tell me, what are you saying yes to?
We can change the world.
Okay, so you need to put that in your sentence. Yes, we can change the world. And what's your reason for feeling that way? Why do you think we can change the world? Oh, because, oh, you did put it in there, but because we can take care of the earth. So if we can take care of the earth, we can change the world. Okay, Zach, thank you for sharing your opinion and a reason. Let's see what Riley says. He says, no, I do not think I can change the world because the world is way too big. Okay, so Riley has an opinion and he has a reason for his opinion. All right, Riley, thank you for sharing. Let's see, what else do we have? I see some typers going on. Lots of typing. All righty. If you guys want to just tell me if you don't want to finish typing it, you can just tell me, or you can finish typing. It's okay. All right, Willie says, yes, we can change the world because we can, because you can by not littering. Okay, so Willie says his opinion, yes, we can change the world. There's his opinion. And then his reason is we can change it because we don't need to litter, or we can stop littering. Okay, thank you for your opinion and your reason, Willie. Gabriella says, yes. Before I ask you, or before I read, yes, what? What are we saying yes to?
I forgot to put yes, we could change the world.
Okay, so we're going to pretend you put that. Yes, we can change the world because you can tell others to pick up trash and take care of the world because God made the world and it's our job to take care of the world. Okay, so real quick, this is where we're going to show the difference between a reason and an explanation. And what you guys did a great job telling me your opinion and why you felt that way. But you also gave me examples of how we can change the world. And so that's a little bit different than a reason, but that's okay because we're just starting with this whole opinion, reason, explanation thing. But I wanted to see what you guys thought of this. All right, so I'll wait on Angelique. The rest of you, if you don't have any questions, make sure DLA, Language Arts, and Moby Max are finished and you're done with reading for today. All right, any other questions? Gabriella, do you have a question?
Why on math is there only one thing right now?
I think because Ms. Hadamio is doing